This is section 3.4 and 3.5. This is part 3. We have been writing equations for a line given certain information. The previous problems we were given the y-intercept. This time we are given just a point that is not a y-intercept. Okay, so that's different. The other thing that's different about this problem is that we are supposed to write our answers in standard form, not slope-intercept form. So we have to be really aware of what they're looking for at the end so that we can make sure that we get the problem correct. Okay, so we are given a point and a slope, so we're going to plug into the point slope formula. This is your x1, this is your y1. Okay, so let's plug in. Regular y and regular x are part of the solution. So I have y minus y1, which is 6, and that's equal to your slope, which is negative 5 over 6, times x minus x1, and x1 is negative 1. Be really careful with your signs there. Okay, so this is our first step. We've plugged in here. Now, as you can see, this is pretty ugly, so we always simplify it into one of these two forms. I'm going to take care of that double negative first. That's now x plus 1. Now, we are not going to be allowed to have a fraction in our answer. There is a way to kill the fractions before you distribute. If you use Help Me Solve This or view an example, you might see the book or the publishers using this. I don't want it to confuse you. The reason I'm not going to teach it that way is that a lot of students do find it very confusing in the beginning. It is actually easier for most people in the beginning. It's easier to understand if you go ahead and distribute the fraction before you do anything else. It's, yeah, you have to deal with fractions a little bit, but usually it's not too bad because it only involves multiplication. And of course, this one's not bad because it's a 1, but fraction multiplication is the easiest kind of operation we can do with fractions anyway. So let's go ahead and distribute this. Negative 5 over 6x minus 5 over 6. Okay, this step, all of this up to now, I would do no matter which form they wanted me to write my answer in. If they wanted me to write it in slope-intercept form, all I would need to do is to add 6 to both sides and do some arithmetic over here, but then I would have y equal to mx plus b, whatever that number is after the arithmetic. But we are asked to go into standard form, and we're not allowed fractions, so let's go ahead and kill them. Now, usually, these fractions are going to have the same denominator, and that makes it really easy. We want to multiply everything by the LCD. And if all your denominators are the same, then that is your LCD. So my LCD is 6. I'm going to multiply everything by 6. Okay, so that would look like, I'm going to come back up over here. 6y minus 6 times 6. And that equals 6 over 1. Since it's by a fraction, I'm going to write it as 6 over 1. Times negative 5 over 6x minus 6 over 1 times 5 over 6. Don't let it confuse you. I used a positive 5 over 6. That the minus sign is taken care of right there. Now let's simplify here. 6y is 6y. 6 times 6 is 36, so this is minus 36. Now every denominator should cancel out over here. And they do. So I end up with equal to negative 5x minus 5. Okay, so I've got rid of the fractions. I need it to be in the correct order. This is the next thing you really want to take care of. And so I need my x value first. So I need to move this minus 5x all the way in front here. And I will do that by adding 5x to both sides. So I get 5x plus 6y minus 36 is equal to -5. I'm almost in the right order now. My x value is first, my y value is next, but I'm supposed to have my constant over on the right-hand side, so I need to move the 36 over to the right. And I do that by adding 36 to both sides. And you get 5x plus 6y is equal to 31. It's in the correct order. I don't have fractions. Is my first number positive? Yes, that's good. And it must be reduced. Is there anything that divides evenly into 5, 6, and 31? No, 5 and 31 are prime numbers. And 6 is only divisible by 2, 3, and 6, and none of those go into those. So this will be my solution to this problem.